Joining me now is a very special guest on the U.S. Report, Republican Congressman Jim Jordan. Congressman, thanks for joining me. I want to start with our very own eSafety Commissioner here in Australia, Julie Inman Grant, who I exclusively revealed this week on Sky News, had been summoned to give evidence before Congress into how our laws and her enforcement of them threaten the free speech of Americans. In a scorching letter signed off by you, she's also been accused of being a zealot for global takedowns and facilitating a global censorship regime. First of all, Congressman, the big question, has Julie Inman Grant agreed to your request yet?
No, she hasn't, but, you know, she knows how to get to the United States. She was just here not too long ago, meeting out at Stanford with a bunch of other people who we found in our investigation last Congress were involved in the censorship effort that was undertaken by the Biden administration here in the United States. Big government working with big tech and big academia to censor American speech. And so she was just here talking with all those folks. So we thought we'd invite her back to talk to our committee, particularly in light of the situation where she wanted a global takedown of some bad content, I understand, but she wanted to impose Australia's rules on the United States. And we have a First Amendment that we take pretty darn seriously. So we're opposed to that kind of a global takedown order from a foreign country. We want to talk to her about all that. We hope she accepts our invitation and comes and speaks.
At the moment, the request is voluntary, I understand, and you've given her a 2-week deadline to appear. If she declines to voluntarily appear, though, what legal powers, if any, do you have to compel her?
Well, we hope she just comes. Like I said, she knows she's just been to the United States. It's not like she hasn't been here before. We would welcome her back to talk to the committee. I mean, after all, when she had the debate with Elon Musk and X, or formerly Twitter, she felt like content should be taken down globally because of what she said should happen because of the law you have there in Australia. So we think she should want to come back and explain all that to us. So we hope that she does.
Well, she's certainly not afraid to travel. We had some reports here recently that revealed that she'd spent a lot of taxpayer money on travel for herself and her staff. But Congressman, you mentioned global takedowns. When I put questions to Julie Inman Grant about this letter and your request, a spokesman for her office said, our Outline Safety Act does not require global takedowns, and quote, there's nothing we're doing that prevents American companies from displaying whatever they want to Americans. But there have, of course, been some high-profile examples where the eSafety Commissioner, as you allude to, has tried to force platforms like Elon Musk's X to take down content globally.
Yeah, we're very concerned about this trend that we see in other Western nations. We see it in the EU with their Digital Services Act, Online Safety Act in the UK and others, where it's like they want to apply their standard to America, where we have a First Amendment. So we're very nervous about that. We're also nervous about what it means for American business, because there's potential for fines of certain percentage of global revenue for some of these American technology companies. That is right. That's huge amounts of money. So it's almost like either follow our rules and apply them globally, or there could be a shakedown coming. So we're concerned about all that. And we had last Congress, one of our, a couple of our witnesses in front of the committee. One was a journalist from Canada, and I thought she was great, Rupa Subramanya. She said one of the hallmarks of Western culture is free debate, free expression. And it always starts off, we want to limit this harmful content. And look, we all understand that, but it never stops there. It goes to censorship of political speech. And as RFK Jr. testified in a similar hearing, he said, when you look at history, it is never the good guys who are for censorship. It is always the bad guys. And that's what we don't want to have, is this censorship regime that we see being pushed in other places. We don't want to come in here. We hope it doesn't happen over there because, again, Western culture is about free expression.
Well, I fear it's a little bit too late for us here in Australia, and I know a lot of our viewers are concerned about the infringements on their free speech rights here. We don't have the First Amendment, of course, but they are cheering you on, a lot of our viewers, let me tell you. Let's move on to what is happening in the MAGA movement, and it seems like there's been something of a split after U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene was labeled a traitor by the president. I know you're a close ally of Donald Trump's. Did you support his comments about Taylor Greene?
Well, I support the president's what he's done for our country. I mean, I support what he's done in 9 months as the leader of our party in our nation. I support what he's done in the past nine and a half months around the world, bringing hostages back to Israel, making sure Iran doesn't have nuclear capability, cutting taxes here, securing the border here, getting men out of women's sports here in the United States. I mean, I support the president who has done what he said he was going to do. That's what I support, and I think the Republicans support that, and I think the country appreciates the leadership from President Trump. You know, I say all the time, I think we make the job of a public official way too complicated. It's pretty basic. What'd you tell the voters you were going to do when you ran for the job? If you get elected, do what you said. President Trump does that better than anyone.
Look, can't disagree with you there, and he has clocked up some amazing achievements, including getting those hostages back and what he's done in Iran. You're right. I just finally want to bring up a new poll from Siena College, which has revealed that only 32% of New York State voters have a favorable view of Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Congressman, it seems like the Democrats holding the government hostage during the shutdown, that didn't do them any favors, did it?
No, and they did that. I mean, we all know why they did that. For 10 years, the one constant for the Democrat Party is to go after President Trump and go after his supporters. I mean, you can go down the whole list of all the, it was spying on his campaign, the Mueller investigation, impeachment 1, impeachment 2, all the lawfare, everything else. So, and then they shut down the government for 43 days. And they said, never mind what that could mean to our U.S. military, what that can mean to air traffic controllers, what that means to our economy, what that means to American families. They said, oh, no, we're going to shut the government down for a month and a half because we think it might hurt the president. Well, that's just crazy. And so it's no wonder that, New Yorkers and people around the country are like, that was a terrible thing for the country. And they're not having, they don't have a great deal of support then for Senator Schumer.
Well, Congressman Jim Jordan, it's been a great pleasure having you on. Hopefully we can speak to you again, and we will keep across that Julie Inman Grant eSafety Commissioner story.